Sam the Minuteman by Nathaniel Benchley. Pictures by Arnold Lobel. It's copyright 1969. There's Lexington, Massachusetts. About 200 years ago, a boy named Sam Brown lived with his parents on a farm in Lexington, Massachusetts, near Boston. At that time, America was not a country of its own. It belonged to England. And there's Sam sitting on a tree stump, on one of the tree stumps, with his dog is nearby, and there's an axe in one of the tree stumps nearby. The farm was small, and the earth was rocky. Sam and his father did most of the outdoor work here. And there's Sam possibly planting seeds in his farm. There's taking a shovel into one of the dirt. Sam's mother worked indoors. Everything they needed, they had to make or grow or cook themselves. His mother's making clothes on the spinning loom. There's the broomsticks while the dog is sleeping next to the broomsticks. Once in Boston, Sam and his father saw the soldiers the British king had sent to keep in order. The people were unhappy with the way things were being run. Sometimes they had riots. Some people had hid guns and powder in case of trouble with the soldiers. They didn't like the soldiers much. They called them lobsterbacks because of the redcoats. See, Sam and his father were soldiers. Count how many soldiers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 men all together. On his way home, Sam asked, "What do these soldiers want?" "They wanted to keep us from being too strong," his father said. "They're afraid of us. It makes us even," said Sam. "I'm afraid of them." There's the moon at the top of the page and the raccoon at the bottom. One night in early spring, Sam was awakened by the sound of church bells ringing. "What's this?" he caught. "What? It can't be Sunday yet. See, there's the grandfather's clock striking 3 a.m. He went to the window. In the darkness, he could see men running. They seemed to come from everywhere. He heard the voices of his father and his mother. His mother sounded frightened. Sam knew there was trouble. See the men riding outside his house and in the field across his house. He dressed quickly and went downstairs. "What's going on?" he asked. "Go back to bed," his mother said. "No," said his father. "We need everyone we can get." His father was a Minuteman, which meant he had to be ready for trouble. "Get your gun, Sam," he said. "Why?" asked Sam. "What's happening?" "Nobody knows for sure," he said. "The British have left Boston and are coming this way." "Who told you?" asked Sam, hoping it wasn't true. "Paul Revere," said his father. "Now get your gun. See, there's the dog sitting behind Sam, heading carelessly. There's Sam, his father, behind him." Sam got his gun and followed his father through the darkness to the village green. The bells were still ringing and drums beating a rallying noise. Sam felt cold and afraid. His soldiers outside. Over the house, the top of the turret in the distance. Captain Parker, the head of the Minutemen, told him to line up near the meeting house. Sam saw his friend John Allen. John felt the way Sam felt, which made Sam feel better. "Why are the British coming?" Sam asked. "They want the guns and powder hidden in Concord," said John. "You have to come past here to get them." See, there's Sam and John meeting with staying safe. Slowly, it began to get light. Drumming on the bell stopped. It was so quiet that Sam could hear the birds twittering in the trees. He could smell the apple blossoms and wet dew on the grass. "Maybe they won't come after all," he said. John. "Maybe they'll go another way." "Maybe," said John, "but not likely. See, everything settles, slowing down, and the sun's coming up." Then it was daylight, and the men began to relax. Some of them even yawned. Sam's father talked with friends. Sam and John played games with a knife in the grass. Sam wished he had eaten breakfast. Suddenly John said, "Listen!" So as the two friends have playing a game, knife in grass. They listened, and in the distance they could hear the sound of marching feet, Tramp, 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 tramp. And then, over the hill and past the tavern came the soldiers. They came on and on and on. Sam could see their red coats in the sun glinting on their bayonets. They looked like a bright river red. Here come the soldiers. As they came closer, Captain Parker tried to count them. There seemed to be 1,000, and you're like 80 men. There are too many of them, he said. We had better move away. Or we should better move away. I'm all for that, said Sam. I think I'll get on home. Me too, said John. There's nothing I can do here. Sam and John, their fathers, and the other men began to move off. I'll see you after breakfast, Sam said to John. Then he saw a British officer who was shouting, waving a sword. I wonder what he wants, Sam said. He told us to disperse, said John. I was pressing as fast as I can, said Sam. He doesn't need to shout. Then someone, somewhere, fired a gun. Bang! Troops began to shoot. Men fell all around. Sam! John cried. I'm hit. John held his leg and fell down. The British made his troops stop shooting and got them back into line. He marched them off toward Concord, the 8 dead men. Wow. 8 men have been shot and killed. Now 72 are the only have survived. Sam and his father helped John's father take him home. Sam felt he was having a bad dream. He saw John's mother crying and she put a bandage on his leg. How does it feel? Sam asked. Not too good, said John. There's John's mother crying in the morning as she watched the sweet as the Malin puts on his knee. When Sam's father got to his house, all Sam's fear changed. How did they dare do that? He cried. If they come back, I'll shoot them, everyone. Be quiet, his father said, wiping grin power off his face. You may just have that chance. He will not, said his mother. He doesn't leave this house again. Then the bells began to ring again. The troops were coming back. Sam, you stay here, said his mother. But Sam had already grabbed his gun and ran outside. His father followed close behind. By now, more farmers had come from all around. They were shooting at the soldiers as they marched. They never got in close, but fired from behind rocks and trees. This worked better than being in the open. Then more British troops came out from Boston. The wild fell was quite heavy. The British troops burned some houses, but their hearts weren't really at. See, there's a house. Whose house that catches on fire? See, but that house is a church. And our house, here's Trinidad. Redcoat. Soon they head back to Boston, fall alongside of the fires whose bullets like bees. Later at night, Sam and his father got back home. The rain was falling gently. Where have you been? Sam's mother said. I've been worried sick about you. Here's she and the dog are worried, but it's too close. They're out of its length. But Sam was too tired to answer. All he wanted to do now was sleep. No one knew it then, but that day was the start of the American Revolution. The war lasted 8 years. At the end, America was a country on its own. But Sam didn't think of that. He thought of John and where how he was. There's Sam going up to bed with his dogs. His parents were hugging each other. And then he slept. There's Sam going to sleep with his dog by his side. The end.